This is Justin Enough, and we're going to go through an example of how to track a player's long toss sessions. We refer to them as distance throwing, maybe leading up to the season, throughout the season, off season, whatever it may be, and wherever point he is. But if you want to start to track accuracy and volume, what you can do is using the DVS Bullpen. We're going to use our demo set. In this case, we're going to use Nuke Lelouch. So we'll make sure we're selected on Nuke. So here we're just going to type in his name. There's Nuke there. We're done. And what we're going to do is we're going to first make sure that our distances for Nuke, we know what those are going in. So all we got to do is just hit over here to the team schedule, and you'll see if I go down and Nuke Lelouch here, you can see that his max velocity 100 miles per hour, and if he was throwing 100% distance, he'd be about 144 feet. We're going to go through this example of like the first session of a performance phase 2, which is like our first set of how we go about our long toss. So that's 108 feet, you can see there, okay? And then from 108 feet, we progress to 122 and work back to 144. If the velocity increases, we start updating the distances automatically through the software, and then we would follow accordingly. But for right now, we're going to go into the throwing tab here, and you can see that in the throwing tab, we have training phases, performance phases, bullpens, and games. So training phases is anything at sub-max intensity. So if we were doing a light throwing day, we could put that here. But for today, we're talking about performance phases. So you can see last year, we made some examples here with Nuke doing his first set of performance phases. So let's go ahead and create a performance phase here. And performance phase 1 is mound specific activity. So we're going to start with PP2, and the distance we already know was 108 feet. So in each of these, we would recommend, and you're free to choose, but 3 sets of 10. So we're going to go ahead and mock up 3 sets of 10 here for Nuke. And so what we try to accomplish in our throwing program is we want at least 7 out of 10 in 3 consecutive sets for a thrower to then advance to PP3. So obviously, if you're out and you're charting, you could say, okay, Nuke had 8, he did really good on his first set, came back, had a dud of 3, and came back and finished strong with a 7. And we can say, leave a note, second set, started to try to throw too hard, came out of motion, ball frequently sailed, whatever it may be, okay? And then we want to make sure was there any soreness present when he did it? No. Okay, so we're going to save that, and you can see how that's going to populate with his newest performance phase here, okay? So when we go back and we look at this and we track it, we can see that, okay, on February 2nd, we attempted a PP2. His first set was 8, second set was 3, third set 7. He wouldn't, in our throwing program, be eligible to go back to performance phase 3, increase his distance. So next time we do it, let's just say we pick a date in the future. Let's say it's February 8th. Okay, we're going to go back to that 108 feet, and Nuke's been working. So we're going to go and we want sets of 10 again, right? And so on this, he went 7, he went 8, and he came back with 7, okay? So he did real good here. Let's just say stayed calm, trusted delivery, ball flight remained consistent. All right, no soreness present. We save that. And look, I made a mistake here, so I'm going to go back here, and I just got to make sure that I choose my performance phase 2 to track. Okay, so there we go. We resave that. All right, so performance phase 2 again. 108 feet, and then we could see there was a 7, there was an 8, and there was a 7, okay? So he would be eligible to then go to performance phase 3. So next time he'd go and do this, let's say now this is the 15th. Let me go back here, so this is the 15th. All right, now I'm going from performance phase 2 to 3, and I'm gonna go back to 124 feet, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go 10, 10, 10, okay? And on this particular set, he went 9, he went 8, and then he went with a 4. Okay, so you can see we can leave our notes again. We can save this here, but as we went back to our performance 33, we can see our distance here in 124 feet. We're looking good up into the last set. All right, so in order for him to go to PP4, we would redo and increase to performance phase 3 again to complete it. Now, if you ever make a mistake, let's say, well, was it 124 feet? I can't remember. I'm not exactly sure. Again, you can go back to the team schedule screen and you can see, oh, it was actually 122 feet there. Okay, so I could easily go back and then click on that last one, edit the pin, and just change this to 122. So this way you actually have an idea, are guys like going back blindly, can they successfully actually throw good ball flight at a certain distance in relation to what their velocity says in games, and we can track it, and this is the way that we can really show a player, whether or not they should be going back or actually getting more effective into their overall throwing program using performance phases. Thanks so much.